Hey, fellow expeditionists. We're at McCormick's Creek State Park.
Yep, this is Indiana's oldest state park. And the winter weather gave us a break this weekend, so we had to get out. Thought we'd come down here, see a couple of trails we've never hiked before. The last time we visited McCormick's Creek, we hiked Trail 5 and found ourselves squeezing through Wolf Cave, a very worthy experience for anybody that doesn't have an issue with tight spaces. Right now, the cave has several inches of standing water, so we decided to hit up some trails that we don't hike as often. In fact, this would be our first time hiking the entirety of Trails 1 and 2, believe it or not. But the adventure was not without its challenges, so follow along as we go on another classic Indiana hike. So, McCormick's Creek is located near Spencer, Indiana. That's only about 80 miles south of our hometown of Lafayette. But back in Lafayette, there was still a lot of snow on the ground, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, we get down here and no snow, everything's melted, and gives us hope for spring, even though we know we got more winter weather coming in later this week.
Yep.
All right, so we just did the little loop trail of Trail 1. It's located at the front of the state park. It comes out into these nice little cabins here that you can rent. I don't know how much they cost, but there's pretty cool little cabins here. Well, so far, our hike here on Trails 1 and 2 through the McCormick's Cove Nature Preserve has been a really pretty and very serene hike, hasn't it?
Yeah.
However, Mother Nature has different plans for us today. So we're here on Trail 2. We're coming up to the section that's close to the White River. Well, as you see, all of the rain we got this past week, plus all the snow melt, has flooded a lot of streams, including the White River. So we didn't really have to go off trail too long. What we did is we just kind of followed the edge of the water where it was flooded, and it got us right up to this point here. You can see right there where the trail peters off into the water, and we just followed the edge until we got around it. So it really wasn't too bad. We didn't have to go all the way back and start another trail or anything. So we're back on Trail 2 now, at least until we find another flooded spot, not catfish. This is the State House Quarry, which dates back to 1878. The limestone quarried from here was used for constructing the basement at the Indiana State House in Indianapolis. However, the railroad bridge that serviced this quarry was washed out in 1880, and the quarry was never reopened. So here you can see the actual drill and chisel marks on the rocks. They would drill holes in there as they broke up the blocks. And over here, you can see the holes that had been drilled in, but they never finished this section. So this section never got cut up into the blocks.
This here is the piling of limestone block that was unusable.
So this here is where Trail 10 crosses the McCormick's Creek. As you can see, the creek's not as flooded in this section as what I kind of thought it would be. It'd be doable. but we don't really care to get our feet too wet today, do we, Catfish?
No.
We're going to continue on Trail 2. Well, Trails 1 and 2 were really cool out in the forest there, and believe it or not, we had never hiked Trails 1 and 2 before, so we knocked those out pretty quick and easily once we got around that flooded section. But now we're down on Trail 3, probably the most popular trail in all of McCormick's Creek. It's the one that leads to the main waterfall that everybody loves to see, but this is just one of the most scenic creeks, in my opinion, in all of Indiana. So you can't come here without checking it out, right, Catfish?
Yep.
So Catfish, tell me, we always talk about North American knucklehead species, right?
Yep.
It's usually about trashing the place, right?
Yep.
What do you think about noise pollution?
Roses.
Would noise pollution be considered a North American knucklehead?
Maybe a subspecies of it.
Ah, yeah,
They're
well,
evolving.
I think we got a set here, don't we?
Yep.
I might just got that on video too. All right, expeditionists, Trail 3 was as beautiful as always. I'm really glad that the water wasn't too high and we were able to hike up the creek trail. And now we are moving on to Trail 4. We have done this one in years past, but it was a long time ago. I think Catfish might have been 5 or 6 when we did it. Well, unfortunately, we're about 2 weeks too soon to be able to go up the fire tower. Maybe another time.
Right now, because of this park's cost topography, there are lots of sinkholes, and this one is currently frozen and flooded.
Trail blowout. Well, there you go, fellow expeditionists. we did trails 1, 2, 3, and 4 here at McCormick's Creek State Park today. Catfish, what was your favorite parts of our hike?
I thought the waterfalls looked cool and that creek looked beautiful. Although there were also falling icicles, so you probably want to watch for where you walk when the icicles do melt.
Yeah, that's a good PSA right there, Catfish. Good thinking. Anytime that there are icicles on the cliff sides and you get warm days like this, they start falling. You do not want to be caught under them.
No.
Nope, don't want to be impaled by an icicle, huh?
Nope.
All right, well, I think we did somewhere between 4 and 5 miles today. And I'll tell you what, it felt great being outside in this warm weather. It's probably around 50 degrees right now, I'm guessing, maybe a little bit warmer. And kind of gives me spring fever, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. So I know it's not there yet, but spring is right around the corner. We're hanging in there, and I hope you are too. So we're on to our next adventure. Till next time, peace out.
Gary! I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.